Welcome to Beijing, China, where we have a fantastic hotel to review for you today. We're at Universal Studios Grand Hotel. It is behind me. It is so grand, and on the interior as well as the entrance to the hotel, we cannot wait to tour you around, so make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
But if you're new here, we're Mitch and Ella of MitchEllaCo, and after 5 years, 20 countries, and over 100 travel videos, we're starting our biggest adventure yet. Around the world in 80 stays. From theme park resorts to luxury escapes to iconic city hotels, we're showing you the most unforgettable places to stay and what to do nearby.
Now we are actually here in December and it is about 32 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit, but there are palm trees. And as we arrived, I'm like, oh, they must be winterized palm trees. They are fake, but it makes the entrance even more grand, and what an experience to drive up. And right now it's right after Christmas, and so the lights on the palm trees, it makes it all come alive at night. Now, we have been in China for almost a month now, and what we have learned is that Uber does not exist for us Americans. It actually is a knockoff, like Didi, we want to say, is what it's called, or Didi. When we came from the train station, it's about 40 minutes away, and it only costs us $7 US, so extremely affordable. But if you're coming from the airport, it's about 40 minutes as well, so we anticipate it would be the same amount. They're going to drop you off behind, and then we make our way into the lobby. If you didn't notice, there is a giant fountain that is out front, as well as a miniature behind me. That one doesn't have any water because we're in freezing temperatures right now, but the entrance and how you enter in and the first experience of it all is so grand again and so beautiful. I was also going to say the way that they describe the hotel online is my favorite. They call it, the interior is inspired by the golden age of Hollywood, combined with the presence of recent Hollywood blockbusters with a classic Spanish revival aesthetic. Yeah, so it's just a combination of Hollywood throughout, and we'll show you all the posters of all the movies too. The hotel is said to have about 800 rooms, and there are specialty rooms based off of Despicable Me as well as Kung Fu Panda. That's huge at this Universal. There's also the check-in desk behind me, which we will take you to next with expectations. But I was gonna say that when you make your request for your room, you should ask for a view. We did not, and we ended up looking at the front of the hotel when there's so much better views, but pricing does vary based on the view. Also, I read online that none of the rooms actually face towards any of the night shows, and so if you were looking for that, like, you know, Disney's nighttime fireworks show, those kinds of things, you won't find it here, but you'll definitely have better views of overlooking the park. Usually we're used to Disney hotels that have like baby nooks, I want to say, off the check-in desk that are always playing Disney movies, but this is the first we've encountered for Universal, where it is a whole movie area with a screen in the background playing Universal movies. We love, love, love this, especially in your room. You have like 12 different Universal movies to choose from, but I have seen Kung Fu Panda on this one, and that's not in your room. So checking in is at 4 o'clock and checking out is at 11. We did get here around 3 o'clock and they got us in right away. There was quite a line, but it moved really quickly. What I'll say is you need your passports pretty much anywhere in China to check in, but also all parties need to be present as you're checking in so they can verify the ID. Also, they want to know which days you'll be attending the park so they can give you the early access, which at this Beijing Universal gives you an hour early access into the park, which is fantastic, especially because this one is built literally on top of the CityWalk and the entrance into the park. Really speedy check-in, like I said. They do speak English, but in China we've had the biggest language barrier overall, but there's always somebody that speaks English. You just have to be a little patient about it. And I will say that their credit card hold is quite significantly for how much we paid per night, and it was around $450 US, but obviously we'll be getting that back as soon as we're done. And then lastly, I booked it through Klook, not through their website. It was is just easier, which is like a trusted Asia ticket vendor, but they also specialize in hotels too. So when you go to book, you can keep that in mind. We have found, I think, 5 different checkout express, not vending machines, but different machines to help you out to make it easier. When the lobby is packed, it is packed, especially at checkout and check-in, so this could be your best option. And of course, if you were checking out a little bit early before you go into the park, you can leave your luggage here, or you checked in too early before your room's ready and you want to go check out the park, and then they'll have your tag and you can come pick it up, but luggage storage is always a must.
Welcome back to the Mitch of MitchEllaCo special review. Woo! That being said, we are in the Universal Studios Hotel, like Ella said. Right off there, if you forgot to get souvenirs on CityWalk or in the park, they have it built into the hotel for you. There's a lot of good little fun gifts. Again, since we're in winter here and it is cold, a lot of the souvenirs are going to be jackets and things to keep you warm, and fun hats. And you will see these in the park. So if you feel that you need to get a souvenir, you can get one that's actually useful.
So just like Mitch said, because it's colder, there are a lot of winter jackets, and a lot of these things, like, look at this, and this one, I have never seen any of these souvenirs throughout any of the Universals. This is our 6th Universal this year, and we just have one left in Singapore. So this is a unique find, but there also is How to Train Your Dragon and Harry Potter, which we'll show you.
It does say they are new arrivals. Right here.
New arrivals. Harry Potter. And even Transformers.
The handle.
See?
Yeah.
Yay!
Wow.
谢谢.
So this is what you could get if I want to be a minion. Can you put my hood on? Does it have a hood? There you go.
Oh my gosh. Also, pro tip, right off the lobby and even from the gym, which is really far away, the only restroom we could find is right off the Universal store, which is right behind me. So just if you need to run to the restroom as soon as you're checking in, or even from the gym, this is going to be the nearest bathroom. Now, besides the hotel rooms, the only floor that you should find all the good stuff on is the main floor. There are 2 restaurants to choose from, and one is more of a lounge. We have the Red Dragon behind me. This is more where you're gonna get drinks. It looks like there's even a meeting, a gathering inside right now, so we can't take a look around. But we're about to take a bridge over to the gym, the kids' play place, and the breakfast spot, I wanna say. So the secondary restaurant. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Lotus Garden, which will be at the end of the bridge. This is gonna be your buffet breakfast starting at 6:30. There are character meet and greets for Despicable Me, and this is gonna be your lazy way of fueling up before the park, because I hear none of the breakfast spots inside CityWalk or the park open until like 11. So that's a long time, especially if you get early access at like 7 a.m. Overall, I think the prices, a lot of people buy it with their hotel when they book it, but I saw it was $54 US per person and $38 per child, which is ages 11 to 3. So something to think about, but it looks spectacular on the inside. I'll have to drop in some pictures, but the Lotus Garden, this is gonna be your main restaurant. I did not see this on other people's vlogs or blogs, but there is a grab and go built in. It's something that we don't always experience in hotels, especially when they're more isolated with theme parks, but I love this. There's sandwiches on the go. They're running around 38 won, Chinese won. We've gone through so many currencies this month, but it translates to a little under $6 US. There's also lots of beverages and specialty donuts. Opposite side of the grab and go is the kids club, which is spectacular. It's absolutely adorable. First, you're greeted with almost a movie theater with director chairs, and then around the corner there's coloring stations. It's open 9 to 18, so 6 p.m. Pretty good hours, I'd say, for dropping the kids off. I guess if you want to go spend the day at the theme park without them. So this is a great daycare option. I don't know if there's a hour limit on it though. I'll drop in a couple photos because there are kids in here, so we won't film, but it just looks so adorable, and what an extra feature that the hotel offers. Welcome to the fitness room.
If you haven't noticed, Ella is kind of stuffy. You can hear it in her voice. That being said, she was bedridden and hung out in this hotel for a whole day straight. So I came down here to the gym. It has techno gym equipment, and I got a workout. It was great. One of the things I will say is they will come in here and ask you for your room number when you're in here, even though it takes a room key, kind of interesting. And then I had to walk across the whole hotel to use the restroom. And when I came back, she took my water bottle that had my pre-workout in it, and she took the towel that I was using, and she took my sweatshirt. And so be careful that they come in and check. There's a lot of employees here, so they might take your stuff. But I will say, this is really nice, and it feels like no one's ever been in here and used any of this. And this is great equipment, and if you need a pump before you go into Universal, maybe it's a hot day, you have the tools to get a pump.
There's always water in gyms. So one of the coolest things that this hotel has to offer is the 1 hour early entry, and also built into the park entry, as well as the CityWalk, which has all the restaurants and the shopping. Now down this spiral staircase, which is awesome, built into the lobby, you get to enter into the park and CityWalk. But before that happens, we're gonna take you upstairs to our hotel room and tell you how much we spent and give you a full tour.
These are cool. The elevator, when you put your card here, it automatically goes to the number. You don't need to push the number. Very helpful.
I mentioned there's not much on the room floors, but there is a vending machine that's like digital, technologically advanced on every floor, and also there's multiple wings. So you can find one on your floor, and then maybe it's cheaper than ordering room service beverages.
They even have a Monster.
No way! Welcome to room 8-11. Come on in, guys. We have a spacious entry, and we make it to the bathroom first. Light and bright, the finishes, the lighting, fantastic for makeup. We have the shower that is behind me. No tub, sorry about it. But this hotel is so new. Mitch Googled it, and it's from 2021. And so you can tell by the finishes that it is pristine. I love the tile in here, as well as the stone. The way all of our Chinese hotels have been is that the showers go on a platform and then drain around the edge. Very unique to China, as we've experienced. There's also multiple toiletries in here, pretty standard, and they smell good. Then we make it to the single sink, which also comes with 2 water bottles, cups, and a hair dryer. Pretty standard. And behind, on the other side, is the toilet. It is not a bidet, not a toupee, not a bidet. But again, it's so bright in here, and I love the finishes. So the bathroom door happens to be my favorite, a full-size mirror as we shut. And then on the opposite side of the hallway is my husband's favorite, the coffee nook. Now this room came with 8 water bottles standard, which water bottles that are free is the way to our hearts. It also comes with a hot kettle for instant coffee and tea. They are not big on coffee machines here, I'll say, in China overall, all the hotels we've stayed at. And then below is, if I had to guess, the safe and mini fridge. Now the mini fridge is not stocked, but that's because they have so many room service options. And then last but not least is the built-in closet, which lights when you open, has plenty of hangers, and we should have stored our luggage in there. If you can't tell, it is Hollywood themed in here, which we'll show you behind the bed, but there's also an E.T. It's not a painting, it's kind of metal, the texture of it, as well as another one on the other side. We have an E.T. themed room, which is a first for us. There's a bench that you can unload your luggage on, as well as a elongated counter that frames in the TV. More E.T. artwork, lots of plugins, USB, the 220 volt is the standard double plug for America, so you're good to go here. And then we have the bed, which we have a king, very comfortable, great pillows. And then straight into the bed test, we gotta whip this fanny pack around. Okay, pretty firm, but I swear when you sleep on it, it is very cozy, especially the bedding and the pillows. After my belly flop, you can see the backdrop of the room is the Hollywood sign, which if you didn't know, Mitch and I went to Hollywood earlier this year and rented a Corvette, one of our favorite road trip vacations. Make sure you go check out that video, top 10 things to do in LA. But I just love the headboard, there we go, cameraman coming in clutch, as well as the accent lights. Everything's buttons, easy to figure out because we've stayed in a couple rooms that had so many buttons we could not figure out which one went to where. But very delightful, big in size, and then we make it to the end of the room. Matching the headboard, we have a velveted blue couch, so pretty. It actually faces the TV too, so if you didn't want to be in bed while watching TV or you wanted to have your room service, it's kind of a table and couch setup, or you could unpack your luggage if you want. And then we have our window, which was really good size, blackout curtains with our view. I mentioned earlier in the video, I did not request a view, and so we're at the beginning of the hotel, but we can still see the park and even the parade getting ready to go by. Just like that, we've made it out of our room, back into the hotel lobby, and down the spiral staircase that leads to CityWalk and the park. We're trying to make our way into CityWalk to explore it just a little bit and then tell you how much we paid for this hotel. So just on the other side of security, we've made it through. Just wanted to make note, one, you're going to need your passports to enter the park, so make sure you bring them. And two, they might take your selfie stick, or they will. We have a camera like tripod-esque that's about this big, but they did ask if it extended even to go into CityWalk. So something to make note of. We've made it into the CityWalk this way. We've come outside for a crisp midday walk because originally when I looked through that bridge overlooking the park, I was thinking that was CityWalk, but actually you leave through the spiral staircase, come on over, and then there's the outdoor mall. As you can see, there's the Universal Studios world behind me, and then you can see the hotel in the background. You actually have to leave and then walk the exterior to get to CityWalk. We've made it inside CityWalk in the Universal Studios merchandise store. It's right as you greet on the other side of the world. So as you leave, I got some flyaways, guys. As you leave the hotel, you'll make it to the store if you couldn't get anything in the hotel lobby. That being said, like we promised, we wanted to tell you how much we paid for the hotel overall. Now, I booked it over a weekend, which is honestly more expensive for hotels, and it was coming in around $250 if you took an average, but I just looked to book it on Monday and extend our stay one extra day, and it was $187. So it does have a swing. One, book ahead, and two, over weekends, so try to plan accordingly, and I bet crowds are really popular over the weekend too. That being said, if you didn't know, Mitch and I are on a adventure to go around the world in 80 stays, and we're on number 14 with you guys, and we're ranking all of them. So you gotta go back. One, like and subscribe. Two, go back from the beginning and check out our Japan series. And three, where this one ranks, I believe that it is in between Godzilla, that was in downtown Shibuya. No. There was Shibuya, and then there was another small city in Japan. Anyways, it was Godzilla themed. Shinjuku, thank you, cameraman. Because that one was right in the heart of it, and it was such a cool vibe and so authentic to Tokyo. And right in between the Minions Hotel, which was also another Universal Studios hotel when we were in Osaka. And Mitch and I are kind of like at odds. We're kind of tied with both of the Universal Studios hotels. They have a lot in common, but I think this one just has a little bit extra something because this one's actually built into the park and you can go straight into it. So it ranks number 10 on the list, but thank you so much for watching. We're on our way to Universal Studios tomorrow, so we can't wait to share it with you, and we will see you on the next one.